So we found it.
Huzzah! So, this wasn't my original plan for the look. Nonetheless, I love it. It's pretty big. I did this at 100%. Again, this is the file from DO3D. I do have the affiliate link in my bio, so definitely if you're looking for this file, it was free when I downloaded this, but now I think they have it back to regular price. But sometimes there are errors, or there are mistakes that happen along with 3D printing. This fail didn't stop me from doing that at all. All I had to do was pretty much change the orientation. So you see me in the video print like this and then switch it to like this. So that I could definitely did with this. But when I looked at it, all of this was gonna be same gold, and only been like a little bit of trim that I could have like allowed the light to go through. So I just figured having it all gold would make it look 10 times better, and with the black pieces as accents, that would definitely make it look better as well. That's coming up too, so stay tuned. And then with this one, transparent filament, it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see like it's a little fuzzy. So the heat or the temperature that I had the nozzle on could have been what caused this fail. And along with that, this one was going to be stretching the filament kind of like in a stringing pattern to connect this. So I don't really, in theory, it would have worked because the top cap on the hammer, so the top cap up there, worked in that orientation. But where this is a little bit bigger, I think I had a little bit of issue with that. So these things do happen. Ways are to overcome it. Just take your time with a lot of 3D printing. Don't let the machine like be smarter than you, essentially. Just look at what's going on. Most of the fixes are pretty simple. I mean, I see like when I first started, YouTube groups, or Facebook groups, things like that. So where most people are gonna go to. And I feel like a lot of those people, of course, you always find your troll every here and there, but I feel like the message isn't so always clear, especially when you're first starting. Or they might be mentioning something that happened to them and how they overcame and fixed it, but it might not be exactly what's going on with your printer. Even me myself, I wouldn't really give somebody any tips because, one, if I'm right, you'll keep coming back, and then two, God forbid if I'm wrong, because something that might work for me doesn't work for you, then there's that issue as well. So it's best to look at what's going on, assess the situation, look at your print, look at the orientation that you're printing something in, look at how your printer's reacting as the print's going. Like, don't just stop it, just really look at it. Most of it's going to be either you have a clog, like well, mine, a lot of the Creality models get a lot of clogs. You might have a jam, you might not be level. Most of it's just little things like that. Maintenance to your printer. You might have a little bit of dust in your fan. That happened to me actually during this as well. I popped my fan open and cleaned it out because there was a lot of dust in there. So what could have actually happened as well is the filament was heating, but the fan wasn't working properly, so it caused stringing, so on and so forth. So just little things like that that you can look at and you'll figure it out, like, oh, clearly just from looking at it, that's what's going on. So don't get discouraged, because I see a lot of people go through this and not a lot of people share this. So you just think, hey, this kid just printed this out one shot and look at that hammer. Like, no, it doesn't always work like that. This was about, I'd say, because one of these in fails, probably like a day in fails of printing, which is frustrating sometimes, because it's like this was so close, about 45-50% of the way done, and I come back to it and it's this. That's like discouraging, so on and so forth. So I do get that part. But my best advice is to just stay focused, look at the printer, look at what's going on, and start off with the basics. Maintenance, check your nozzles, check for clogs, so on and so forth. And don't give up, because that machine is not smarter than you. Trust me, it doesn't matter. So from what I can tell, it looks like it's just connecting from one point to the next, just like how you see now, going from one side to the other. So I guess that's why the supports really didn't matter, and that's how it was able to print itself. So on the bigger scale, I'll be able to, I'm still going to use the supports. The supports don't add too much time, but I see how it's connecting, and I trust it all. Now, so basically what I did, this would have been much easier with an X-Acto knife, but I went to the store and X-Acto knives were like $7 for one blade. I was like, no, it's not happening. So I just used the cutters that come with the printer. And basically what I did was I put the blue tape, so I put it like all on this seam and made sure that on this line right here, that it was perfect. And then of course on this side it was overlapping. So what I did was just come up on the line and just cut away. And as you can see, did pretty much the same effect that X-Acto knife would do. And the good thing is this was free. It came with the printer.
In audio. In audio.
Okay, so I got the LED set up inside, and I just pretty much run around like the perimeter of the hammer itself, and just use like this tape on the back with some E600 and a little bit of duct tape just to reinforce it. The main thing that you want to focus on when putting in LED lights is a housing. In this case, where I have this much space, I don't really have to focus on that. I have the battery pack in the back attached to the back cap. But if I was doing something such as like a lightsaber, clearly you can see the difference in size that would be needed. So in that case, I would have to fix up like a housing, because it wouldn't just be LEDs, it would be LEDs. If I wanted to add a sound system to that, an Arduino, a battery pack, a charge pack, so on and so forth. So I would have to create a housing to fit all of that and stuff all of that in here. Even if I wanted to do that with this Mjolnir, add all of those effects with all the space that I have, I could definitely accomplish that. So the main thing that I just focused on was just getting those lights in there in a way that it will reflect off itself. So there are LEDs at the bottom, reflecting the same ones at the top. That way they intensify the light. And then I have some going on in the middle. As you see, this is color shifting. And the good thing is, this is actually motion censored as well. So I can put it on a timer. After a certain timer, the lights will go off. And then with any motion around it, it'll go right back on. So we got all the side pieces in, which was just the last thing that I was waiting for. So now it's time to assemble it. So I'm just gonna use some glue just to make sure that those stay in. Okay, so as I mentioned, this wasn't my first concept for the hammer, but I do like the way that it came out in the end. I really do like the gold and black contrast, especially for this. I really wanted this bottom piece to really stand out. I just feel, I don't know, something about it just looks like a perfect piece. So I definitely wanted that to make sure that looked good and popped. So I definitely like the black handle and then this gold accent at the bottom. And then at nighttime, this thing can light a room. So I really love it. Wasn't too much DO3D, like with a lot of their files, it's pretty much print and assemble. So it wasn't too difficult as far as putting everything together. The cap should just slide in. The nozzles and the handles, everything just went together. So it was a pretty easy project. I don't usually do projects like this where you have to print out 10, 15 different pieces and then assemble, but something like this, it was free. I had a little bit of extra time. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching the video. If you did like this video, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for all of my new builds and upcoming builds. Definitely hit the bell button so that way you can get a post. Sometimes I do lives, questions and answers, so on and so forth, just to get to know my community a little better. And if you like the video, and if this is still blowing your mind as much as it's blowing mine, then definitely hit the like button. It's BZ Comics. I'm out.